Mauricio Pochettino is not even through the door yet and already there are decisions to make. Matt Law has come out with 5 massive decisions that are being talked to him about within the interview process. We'll break them down on an individual basis. Reece James and Mason Mount are both having surgery. Carney Chukwuemeka, Mudryk and Noni Madueke, both of them, or all 3 of them in this case, need to do more to deserve game time, according to Frank Lampard. Oh, and finally, Romelu Lukaku. His career at Chelsea doesn't seem to be done. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Kavkas View. Never a boring day at Chelsea Football Club, and I think it's fair to say that it never will be a boring day at Chelsea Football Club. We could get relegated and there'll still be news to talk about because this club always has something going on. But before we get started, I need you lot to do me a massive favor. I need you to hit the like button. I need you to subscribe to the channel. We're aiming for 1,000 likes and we're aiming for 50,000 subs by the end of the year. That was the goal we set at the beginning. We're going to hit it. And finally, if you want to help me grow the community, follow me on Instagram in the pinned comment. Message me with football related questions and I usually respond in the DMs. Perfect. Now, let's move on with the story. So Mauricio Pochettino is set to become the Chelsea manager, and the 5 main issues that are consistently being spoken about within the interview process are, starting with the emphasis on the fullback. Chelsea believe they've got a very good fullback and they believe they can exploit other teams' weak spots by utilizing the wing position. One way of doing that is by really developing the fullbacks that we have. We've got Malo Gusto and we've got Reece James on the right hand side. Very good main and understudy. You got Ben Chilwell and potentially we have Ian Maatsen or Cucurella. Very good understudy in both aspects. And Pochettino has got a track record of really developing fullbacks. He had Luke Shaw initially, then he at Southampton, he had Danny Rose, who hasn't had a career since he's left. He had Kyle Walker that started off really well, went on to do even bigger and better things. He's really developed a good few players. Then there's the aspect of Mykhailo Mudryk. Chelsea have invested a lot of money in Mykhailo Mudryk, and as of this moment now, it hasn't really come to fruition. Mykhailo looked very good in the initial aspect against Liverpool, one of the best cameo appearances you're going to see, to the point where he had everyone going, oh my god, this kid is unbelievable. Since then, topsy-turvy start, peaks and troughs, yet what I really like about him is he always manages to get assists. Like, he's actually contributing with some production, and that's what you want from your wingers. You need them to contribute even if they're having bad games. He's got 2 assists, we can work on it, and a big part of Poch's job will be to develop him. Finally, it's another attacker that we need to talk about, and it's Christopher Nkunku. Christopher Nkunku is joining the club. It's a done deal. It's guaranteed from Leipzig. And a lot of the questions asked of Pochettino is, how is he going to fit into your system? Look, Chelsea are very keen on bringing Pochettino in and ensuring that the players that they surround Pochettino with are going to be developed. They're going to be used in a manner that will absolutely fulfill the best of their ability. Chelsea believe a big burden of goal scoring can be taken by the one and only Christopher Nkunku. They are also looking to get Joao Felix back to the club on a loan potentially, because they need to balance the books. And it's something that Joao Felix would be excited about. We spoke about this before. But I'm very curious to see how this will develop, because the reality is, and this is the truth, Joao Felix, Nkunku, Mudryk, Sterling is enough. Then you add Noni, and then you add other players, and all of a sudden it's a bloated squad. If we have 3 cams in behind the striker, we only need 4 players. And the reason I say we only need 4, at max a 5th, and it has to be a youth player, it's because you need to give people consistent game time. If you don't give them, they get rusty, and once they're rusty, they don't put up numbers. It's very easy to actually talk about. Finally, the last 2 topics that was mentioned in the Matt Law article is the goalkeeper that's needed. Bro, we've been saying this for a minute. It's like as if they read this channel. We need a new keeper. Kepa Arrizabalaga is not good enough. Edouard Mendy had a very good spell and dropped off a cliff. Since then, he has not been a good goalkeeper. People are saying it's a lot to do with his kicking. I think it's his shot stopping as well. When Mendy saves, he parries it straight back into the danger area. And Kepa, well, we know the deal with Kepa Arrizabalaga. He's never been good enough. He's a player that he'll have very good games, but then he'll let you down in the long run. So we just need to move off this. We need a proper goalkeeper. Hopefully we go and acquire Mike Maignan. I would love that. Diego Costa. from Porto. I would really like that goalkeeper as well. But my first choice is the AC Milan keeper, Magic Mike as they call it. But the big story, and the one that everyone wants to get their teeth into, is the Romelu Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku has went to Inter Milan. He's had a very poor season by his standards. Romelu is known to be a player that bangs goals for fun, and is a player that absolutely contributes in a 1 and 2 rate. This season, injuries have really hampered him. There have been comments about his weight. There have been comments about the way he looks after his body. But it looks like after the World Cup, he's really recovered. He's really developed himself into the footballer that he was prior to Chelsea. He's become really lean. He's really toned up. He's got his diet in check, and the goals are coming. You're seeing the fruition of his labor. You're seeing how Romelu Lukaku scores goals. And this is something that is shown in the numbers, right? He's got 9 goals in 26 games. You need to remember, he doesn't start these games. So it looks like it's a 1 in 3 rate, but in reality, he only plays 60 minutes, 55 minutes on average per game. So there are a lot of garbage minutes in there. So when he comes on for 15, when he comes on for 17, and it's very difficult sometimes to change the game. So the topic that's being spoken here is, does Pochettino want him back? Because if Pochettino wants him back, Chelsea won't go and sign the striker, because it's essentially a new signing. What's going to happen? This is a decision that Pochettino needs to make. I personally think we need to sell Lukaku. I really want Lukaku to continue scoring at this rate. I want Lukaku to get 11 more goals this season. I want him to try get as far in the Champions League as possible. I need a platform where people go, this guy is a baller. And I need us to recoup as much of that 100 million. Because Romelu Lukaku is a player in the right system, he'll score goals. In the right system, in the right team, he will always get you goals. Problem is he's not the long-term solution, and nor do I believe that. So personally, for me, it's a no-go, but I think he's a very good player. Now we need to look at the injuries that have arose today, and Frank Lampard has spoken about in the dressing room. What's really interesting is that Reece James, all of a sudden, since the Real Madrid game, has been injured, and he's going to have surgery on his hamstring. Reece James is a player that is consistently injured, and when we signed Malo Gusto, I said, what's Malo Gusto doing? Because the reality is he's going to be stuck behind Reece James. Well, this is why I don't work for Malo Gusto. Malo Gusto's people clearly did more research than I did, because they realized, hold on, Reece can't stay fit. Our boy is going to become the #1 right back, and Reece is going to struggle to get back in the team. And the fact of the matter is, even if Reece does get back in the team, it's only a matter of time until he gets injured again. This is really bad, because Reece is consistently picking up like little injuries, whether it's a hamstring, whether it's a knee, whether it's some little thing. And I think a lot of it has to do with just the pure build of the man. He's very built. Like he's a man that does a lot of running in the wide areas, and it's a big body to carry up and down a pitch and be so explosive with. He's consistently doing sprints. And you guys need to understand, right? There's a reason why people say HIIT workouts are great for losing weight, because your intensity is super high. The problem is that people don't tell you is it takes a lot of time to recover from doing HIIT workouts. And what has happened is Reece James has basically been doing HIIT workouts on the right wing for us, consistently running up and down that channel, sprinting, getting the ball, getting it in the box. The problem is he's had no cover. Every time he plays with that big body of his, where 90 kilos, 80 kilos, whatever he is, it's a lot of weight to carry. And it's the similar issue that Ruben Loftus-Cheek had. The explosiveness, he's just too big to be a footballer and so agile. That's what causes their injury, in my opinion. I'm no sports scientist, by the way, but this is what I've been gathering from watching years of football. People that are naturally so big, they struggle with their body size. Like, he's growing into his body, and now he's in his man's body. He needs to learn how to manage it. And the reality is, Malo Gusto's going to play. So we're fine and covered in that area. Another player that's going to have surgery on his pelvic area is Mason Mount. Mason Mount has been in and out of the squad. He's been playing through pain, which is really bad that when you actually think about it, right? He needed surgery evidently before, but Chelsea didn't want to give him the surgery because we were still in the Champions League. He wasn't playing, but yet he wasn't allowed to get it. So his season's basically done, Frank Lampard said. What this tells me is there's a very good chance Mason Mount will resign, because I don't see Mason Mount getting the surgery without the permission of his next club, and I don't see Mason Mount just opting to get the surgery himself, like out of the blue. So the reality is his season was done anyway until he signed a new deal. So at this moment in time, it's really sad, but both players are basically on load management. And you know what? There's 7 games left this season. Who cares? Let them have the time off, let them literally recuperate, get ready for pre-season, come back. Hopefully they're both in good shape. I don't know what's going to happen with Mason Mount because he's either going to have to sign a new deal or be sold. We'll find out there. Kai Havertz is injured as well, but he should be back for the Arsenal game on the weekend. He's out of Brentford tomorrow. Guys, it's going to be a heavily rotated squad. That's all I can tell you. And finally, the big news regarding Mykhailo Mudryk, Noni Madueke, and Carney Chukwuemeka. All three of them are basically in contention to play tomorrow against Brentford. However, Frank Lampard was asked a question in respect to, are they going to get opportunities? And I really like this answer from Frank. A lot of people are going to say, oh, it's such a generic answer. Why do you like it? He said if they deserve it. Guys, I think one thing we don't take into account as fans is we're very excited when youth players break through, right? Because I'm not like that. I'm like, oh my God, this kid's living the dream. Give him a chance. He might be sick. Problem is in front of them, they've got top class athletes. Mateo Kovacic, N'Golo Kante, Enzo Fernandez, Conor Gallagher, Mason Mount are all ahead of Carney Chukwuemeka. And the reality is, Conor Gallagher is not a bum. Mason Mount is not a bum. They're good footballers and they expect to play. So you can't drop them just to give Carney an opportunity in the long run, consistently. It just won't work like that. And the same goes with the wide positions. Raheem Sterling's there. You go Joao Felix. Some of these players have been playing really well. So it's like we have to be respectful and they need to earn their position. You can't be handing out opportunities. That's my personal opinion. I would like to see them get a chance. Hopefully they're training up to par. And Frank also said, I've shown in the past with my actions at any club I've been at, if you train hard, I give you opportunities. And that's very true. Eric Gordon, evidence. Mason Mount, Reece James, Tomori, Cho, Pulisic. He made sure that they were held accountable for their levels of training. I am not Frank Lampard's biggest fan when it comes to the manager. But I am going to be fair and I am going to be honest. He knows how to get players to try harder to play. And he also was reiterating, you need to do it for the badge, all that nonsense, I don't care. You need to do it for yourself. You want to play professional football, you need to train harder than the senior member in front of you. Because at the end of the day, he's on more money than you, so the club's going to end up playing him and giving him more opportunity because they're paying him more money. But what you need to do is prove in training that you're better than him. Once you prove that, you will get your opportunity. 7 games, guys. We'll keep it counting down. I've got an exam tomorrow, so if you lot made it here, hit in the like button, comment section. Tell me good luck. I need it. Study hard. Hopefully I pass. But tomorrow I will be watching the Chelsea game on my laptop, but I'll be having the main game in the background. Judge me what you want. Manchester City Arsenal is a title decider. In the comments below, let me know, would you prefer if I did a review for the Arsenal game against Man City, or do you want a review for the Chelsea Brentford game accompanied with Arsenal? But let me know. Peace out. I'm out. Have a nice day.